Don't you love life when you feel like sunshine on your skin in the middle of the winter when it's chilly, when it's getting dry, in front of a fire, laying with your baby and you're getting high. Well, a couple of buttons on a sweet day, I've sure blown up a perfect way. Don't you love life when you feel like the first time you feel it in, coming together, feel a perfect skin. Well, white chips on a cold day, ice cream stripping on a hot day. Well, nighttime hitting the street with a perfect song and a perfect beat. Well, are you feeling it?
Welcome to our trip of a lifetime. As we reconnect to family, I reconnect to my roots, we reconnect to country, we find some adventure, healing, peace, and some awesome new friends. We get off the grid, we get out of the grid. Join us, fun-loving Hendies, as we answer that call to the magical Cape York. Well, here we go, episode 10. The trip's finished. It's now time to share the highlights, the best, the worst, the things we learned, give you a heads up and hopefully save you a few headaches. Crew, here we are. So we've got Trev, Joe, sister Kaz and Greg, and we've been on a bit of a crazy adventure. And this started off as a little bit of a home video, but as we did it we just thought, wow, there's some amazing things we could share here, and we've learnt so much from people who've done videos on their incredible trips. So we thought we'd pay it forward and create a little video series. So it's our Land of Oz. We're on our first big adventure together, Cape York. So it's Cape to Cape, from right down in Cape Patterson or Wilson's Promontory. Kaz camped just before she left from the southernmost point all the way to the northernmost point, and right now we're somewhere really, really cool. You have to keep watching to work out where that is and how we got here. We just thought before we started we'd share one thing each, like a little tip to make sure you follow your journey adventure, and I'll go first. My one is, don't believe when people make the tracks look big and everything looks incredible and too hard to get to and everything else, that it's out of your reach, that you're small and it's big. Do some planning and some preparation, learn from other people that have got there, and go do it, because we just had the craziest couple of weeks that was life-changing, and you have to go and do it. So you're not small and the track's big, you can do it. You're big enough to do it. So that's me.
Oh, the sunsets. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so for the wives and the girlfriends and the daughters and everyone else that comes along, we haven't seen one croc, and I was petrified before we came, because we slept in the swag and we've just had the best time. We've been in the swag the whole time, and we've been also cautious and slept off riverbanks and stuff, but literally it's really safe. Now we're actually hoping to see one, so don't be as scared as what everybody says, because although you've got to be wary and conscientious, you still can relax and enjoy.
My tip is expose yourself to those long and winding and sometimes difficult pathways to get to beautiful campsites, because the sunsets and sunrises are so worth it, and you may see something as odd as a crocodile, not that we have. So yeah, expose yourself. Don't be put off by the lengths of the roads to get to the campsites, because they're well worth travelling.
Or even walking over the rocks to get to the rock paintings.
Or even walking over the rocks to get to the beautiful Indigenous artworks.
Oh yes.
I like that.
It's good. I just think make it simple and easy, like a little bit of preparation, like the food we've eaten. You don't have to skimp or anything. You can still eat well when you're out camping. You just prepare a little bit. So, you can have a shower in the creeks and washing the creeks, things like that. So you don't miss out on much. So maybe have a crack, really.
Have a crack.
Yeah. That's it, isn't it? Well, we've recorded some crazy things and some highlights of our lifetimes that you're going to see. So check it out.
Hey!
That was funny. Sorry. That was funny.
Well, here we are, honey. We've just seen on the speedo there.
5,017 we've hit.
Yeah. You're looking like really refreshed, and we've had a good time.
We've got to brush my teeth in the creek.
Oh yeah? Which creek? Shit Creek? There we go, honey. A couple of warning lights, but we're just past 5,000 kilometres.
Yeah, wow. It's amazing. God, I've seen some of the most incredible places. It's just been the most amazing trip we've ever done. We've done some trips
Most inspiring thing you've seen so far on the trip?
Oh, but there's been so many. The whole purpose of the trip was to go to the tip, and I think the tip was pretty cool. To think that we were on the very, very tip of Australia, on that little point, and the road in was so bad.
You had a moment there. I remember getting a bit of video of you just sitting there looking, and you were pausing, reflecting. Funniest thing that's happened on the trip?
Probably Greg hiding that fake crocodile head in the bend at Cohen, and
Yes.
how lovely it was of him to leave it till right to the end of the trip, because if he had done it earlier, we would have been freaking out the whole time. Where did you?
Yeah.
I thought that was very funny. And it just looks so real.
Pretty amazing planning you went to. You ordered it online and everything, and hid it in the back of the car. Even Kaz didn't even know it was in there the whole trip. Best food moment?
Our camp food was like roast lamb. We had 3 roast lambs, marinated chicken and all that. But when we got to Rocco Island, that meal we had that night with the sunset setting behind us and the wine, and it was Dad's birthday, and there was just so many beautiful pieces that came together. That particular food night, that's what I remember.
Really remember.
It was really special.
Most beautiful waterhole or waterfall or swimming spot?
Far out. We have swam in some of the most incredible creeks, rivers, waterholes. This one was just probably more memorable, and the best feeling that I got was Mason's Hole at Cape Trib.
Ah, yeah, that was special.
We were all together, and it was the morning, and no one had been down there yet, and there was the turtles swimming, and it was the most crystal clear water I've ever seen. And it was cold, but it was just so beautiful. Love that.
That's pretty cool. A close second behind that must be Sam's Creek, the little secret waterfall below Sam's
yes.
Creek.
That was like a little fairy tale. That was so beautiful.
And hard to beat Twin Falls and Elliot Falls and Saucepan and Fruit Bat Falls, and they're pretty amazing, aren't
And
they?
then I just remembered Mutee Head when we jumped in the ocean. That was really cool too.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Yeah, so nice. And then this morning was beautiful too. That
Yeah,
was really
up at Davies Creek, that was pretty stunning.
very stunning.
They had lots of swims actually.
Yeah.
Lots of swims around the place. What about scariest moment that your heart was in your mouth the most?
Crossing Nolans Brook. I don't think I'll ever forget that. Watching you in your pride and joy. Oh God, I
Floating?
get emotional.
Floating?
Yeah. Alright.
Why are you emotional?
I just know how much a car means to you, and you were helpless. You couldn't do anything. It was so sad. I felt so sad.
I didn't feel helpless. I just
I know.
felt stuck.
But
Felt
we
like
had-
all we could do is pull it inch by inch to get it out.
But we literally got to the end.
It's the end of the whole thing.
It was the end of the whole OTT, and we've been through the most insane, oh my God, full driving that I've ever done. I think nothing will ever compare to that. And then we got there, and old Saphira, lucky for Mitch and Fiona and Ron for helping us.
What about proudest moment? Like moment where you were really even proud of yourself, or proud of the car, or proud of us, or just where you kind of felt like you conquered something?
I think just in every moment you say, we're just going to go down this road, and I've heard there's this down here, and I would get a little bit frustrated, and then I'd let go and just go with it, and there'd be this magic down the end of this road, or like that Little Anans River. Oh my God.
Little Annan River, yeah.
Stunning. That was literally so stunning.
We didn't even think about that in the river part, in the water swimming part, did we?
I think that's when I really let go and just went, oh, look, how can I keep holding on when you've already shown me so many magical moments?
It sounds funny to talk about it, to give it words, but that idea that usually when the fear comes in, just beyond that comfort zone is where the magic happens, hey?
Absolutely.
And the fear comes in for so many people at the same point on the track, so a lot of people turn around.
Yeah.
There's always this special, not always, but 9 times out of 10, there's a special thing just around the corner where you would have turned around.
Yeah, Absolutely.
It's kind of crazy. I must have got that in my system at a very young age from my dad, I think.
Yes, there were so many points on that, on the old tally, that I was like, oh my God, how is he going to do this? How are we going to get out of this? How are we going to get through this? How are we going to get down it? How are we going to get up it? And Sophia literally, it's a good combo of driver and car.
Understanding the car too, what she could do. And
Yeah.
when we came through Cannibal Creek on that side quite comfortably, and then the sand, the left-hand right-angle turn, you had to full drive up, then turn and reverse up to the bank, and then try and fly up the sand. We got around in one hit.
No, what about Cockatoo Creek, when we had to wait for 9 cars?
That's the one I meant, actually, Cockatoo Creek. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Cockatoo
what I thought
Creek.
you meant, yeah. Yeah, and then you guys just drove up like you were in a sedan.
That was pretty beautiful.
I didn't want to get too excited because all those other cars before us
Got stuck
got
there.
stuck there.
Okay, well, we've taken the turn off the boulders. 6 k's to go down here, so a couple more questions. Where did you feel the most, where was the most romantic spot?
Probably last night. Davies Creek.
Davies Creek, just down by the creek where we had to walk down with the swag.
Yeah. Oh, then there was Loyalty Beach, when we walked down into the rocks and along the beach and stuff. That was nice.
Yeah, that was nice.
That was lovely.
That was
on the
cool.
Sunset. Oh, then Mutee Head was beautiful. Oh, there were so many different places.
Okay, what about a moment when you just felt really good about yourself? When you just felt really connected, present, like still
Most of the trip.
most of the trip?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good answer.
Yeah.
Best sunset?
Oh, best sunset. There's many. Bloody. The first place we stopped where we were in Croc territory on the beach, and we placed our swag right on the beach.
Allen Beach,
Allen Beach. That was spectacular.
just north of Cooktown.
Oh, then there was back to Mutee Head.
Beauty Head, yep.
That sunset with Kaz. Remember we were down?
Yep.
That was absolutely.
Oh, that Jardine River mouth.
Yes.
That thing was
that was
one of the most
next
beautiful
level.
sunsets I've
Yeah.
ever seen.
Yeah, I agree.
That was like a gift from us, because kind of I really wanted to go to that place, and it was
Yeah.
almost like a reward for going. It was just like, well done, you got here.
Yeah,
The weather cleared up and it was just insane.
absolutely.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, wasn't it?
That was really, really amazing.
That very first one we had at Notch Point was cool, in 1770.
Everywhere we've been, we've had incredible sunsets. Incredible sunsets.
I feel like we're missing one there as well, but
Yeah, probably Hunsan Bay was pretty stunning.
Sand Bay, yep. Okay, and then another quick one for you. What was the most stunning or best or favourite beach that you saw along the way? Because we went to a lot of beaches.
We did. First Mutee Head, where we swam.
Yep,
That was beautiful.
that was pretty cool, yeah. Yep. What about Chilli Beach with the coconuts?
Oh yeah, that was beautiful.
And we drove along there, and you wanted me to keep driving up past the rock outcrop, and I was like, I've had enough all driving on the beach for one day, and you're like, just do as you're told. And but it might have been the other way around, was it?
I don't think it might have been.
I might have wanted to keep going. Favourite camp spot? Oh, Jardine River was pretty cool.
Jardine River was pretty
briefly.
cool, but
You like Mutee, except for the red rock dirt in the almost car park scenario that we were camped.
And then there was like Allen Beach that was beautiful.
Allen Beach was beautiful, wasn't it?
Really beautiful.
I actually really liked
Notch Point was amazing.
Notch Point was incredible. I really like Cape Trib.
Yeah, I was going to say Cape Trib.
It's a facility place to go to, which is not our favourite thing to do.
No.
But it was such lovely people and
We had a fun
people that
time.
own it, and everything about that place was really cool. The creek down the road, we saw the big crocodile there, 4 metre croc right there.
And we were nearly the last to go in.
Yeah, and that's where all of a sudden Max and Katie turned back up and camped next to us after all that time.
That was funny.
Another beautiful moment of serendipity. As we finish talking about our highlights, we cast our mind back to the Cohen Riverbank where we had a good chat about what were the things that really surprised us on this trip. What items did we bring we really needed? What were the big dark horses that you wouldn't do without? Okay, crew, well, here we are. We're sitting by the Cowan River, Big Bend. We've camped here on the way down and we're on our way back. We've got a few more adventures to go, but thought it's a good time to talk about what are your 2 things that you couldn't have done without that you really loved, and maybe one dark horse thing that really surprised you. Who wants to go first?
I think when you're travelling a long way from home and, you know, things are not easily to come by, I think the cryovacking the food, the meats, and freezing them in our freezer was like a bonus. And also just like preparing food and like supermarket food before you go, because things up here are like 3 times the price.
Your dark horse.
My dark horse, I haven't used it a lot, but I was very impressed by it, and it did come in handy a couple of times, is Trev's shower that he made that I whinged a lot about before we came and said, why are you doing that? That's stupid. And there was some times we had nowhere to swim and we got to use that as a shower, fresh water. So thank you, my love.
My dark horse was the Darshi rooftop tent. It's incredibly comfortable, easy to climb up and down, which I thought may have been a bit of an issue, but that wasn't. And we had airflow even with a heavy downpour, so I thought that was fantastic. My other one is the CB radio, or the UHF radio, is an essential item. I think that makes the trip so much easier when you can communicate what's going on, and even with people that you don't know that can help you. I think that's an essential item.
The camp ovens definitely come in handy because we cooked up some good roast. So I've used that a fair bit, which is pretty good. A little bit of a dark horse, I reckon, is the ARB built-in water tank at the back of my canopy, because always using that, washing your feet, washing your hands, and we've got a shower connected to it and holds a fair bit of water, and it's tucked away at the back, so use that heaps. And when we're camping for a couple of days, probably the solar panel is coming handy. Pretty hot up here, so your fridge is working all the time. If you're not moving your vehicle, get your solar blanket out and then charged up your fridge, no worries. So probably couldn't live without that.
Because I'm in a new vehicle, the underbody guards and the suspension and lift, so that's kind of more than one thing. But
Who did your underbody guard?
so yeah, the underbody guards was custom off-road, and the suspension and lift was Kim at Mermaid Suspension, which you gotta love. What's it called? Word of mouth. When someone recommends someone that's good, they know what they're doing, and Kim was amazing. The suspension thing is just unbelievable. So much security in that. Just the underbody looked after. The second thing is the winch. We really needed the winch. Saved my life a couple of times. And in the mud, again yesterday, and also getting out of Nolans came in very handy as well. Winch was really cool. And my dark horse is the Adventure King's little fire pit that Dan lent us. That stacks together really nicely, fit in the car really well in its bag, stopped everything from rubbing on the side of the car. And when we needed it, when we couldn't have an open fire like we can here, it was just perfect, and it made all the heat work really, really well. So I think we've all been impressed by that as well. So it's pretty cool. So all in all, it's been some really amazing things that we've got to utilise, and it gets you thinking about what you're going to use on the next trip, which is important too.
Beautiful,
So,
thank you.
Yeah. So as we say goodbye to Cape York, pretty sad, but more trips ahead. Leave us a comment. What's your favourite camp item or your dark horse, or something that you really want to get? And please like and subscribe, and make sure you join us next week, because the next part of the trip start. Pebbly Beach with Jardine.
All my life for someone like you. I watch the days go by, wasted in blue. I was out of use. Now every day, every night.
So join us next week for another crazy adventure to a hidden paradise off that grid.